Welcome to the APTA Grand Prix Series, the Detroit Invitational sponsored by the APTA National Sponsors Viking, Fusion, Upswing Health, and MyPaddle. We are live from the Orchard Lake Country Club in Michigan on the APTA Network presented by eNet Live. I'm Lauren Mandel, along with Mark Fischel, bringing you this men's round of 16 match between Scott Kahler and Ben McKnight and the Held brothers, David and Zachary. Hi, Mark.
Morning, Lauren. It's been a fun morning already. Looking forward to doing this match. So let's introduce the players. So on the far side of the screen in the orange is Zach Held, and in the black is his brother David. And then out of the screen in the left-hand corner, if we can get John Scott to show us the other camera. There we go. Thanks, John. Is in the deuce side wearing the white hat, Scott Kahler. And then his partner is Ben McKnight. And I would say that nobody's played more paddle tournaments than Scott Kahler over the last 5 years, Lauren?
He's always out there, and he's extremely consistent.
And he's an extremely consistent player in addition to showing up. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see Ben McKnight play. Ben is a former top tenner, made the quarters of nationals. Has had some knee problems, had his meniscus fixed in November, and is really excited to be playing and is one of the best athletes on tour. So it's going to be fun to see what he's got. He used to play with Pete Rose. And Ben is the possessor of a terrific two-handed backhand and an extremely ugly two-handed forehand. I don't even think he changes hands.
He doesn't, right? It's not even a regular two-handed forehand.
And it's almost unimaginable to think that he grew up as a tennis player, too. He played tennis and soccer. And the magnitude of his athleticism, Lauren, is his senior year at Georgetown, he won Athlete of the Year, which is impressive at a school like Georgetown. But then if you throw into the mix that they had a guy in the basketball team named Allen Iverson, who is an NBA Hall of Famer, and Ben won the award over Iverson, that just kind of leaves you stunned. So looking forward to seeing him play. He was always, he and Kahler, I think, should fit together really well. He was always just a rock-solid player, volleyed exceptionally well. I remember one match he played with Rose at the Charities where they lost in the quarters to Durant Parsons in a terrific match, 6-4, 7-5 in the third. Were up a break, had some opportunities. Volleys great. Doesn't generate a ton of offense from the backcourt, but really volleys well. The backhand's terrific. Serves well. In fact, I think it's going to be both Kahler and McKnight both serve overhand, and we're going to see. It looks like at least one of the Helds is serving sidearm at this point. What do you think, Lauren? Do you like sidearm or like underhand? What's your preference and how we describe that serve?
Sidearm. What percentage of the men do you think are going sidearm at least part of the time?
I think it's probably up in the 30s, 25-30%. I think it's growing all the time. I mean, you still have some guys that have resisted doing it. I haven't seen Mick Ordoya serve sidearm or Sven Burris. Araya Parsons both serve overhand all the time. Obviously, Durant Mitchell sidearm. Hughes Powers overhand almost exclusively. Though we're starting to see Powers go sidearm a little bit. Not so much Hughes. Kahler's all overhand. But I think it's like anything else, Lauren. I think it's like in tennis having a kick serve, a slice serve, a flat serve, being able to serve different parts of the box. I think we're going to see it evolve more and more, and you're going to see more people do it, especially the right-handers. I mean, the big issue is the deuce court. Right-handers just don't have a place to serve that deuce court. It's just such an uncomfortable motion for them. And on the ad side, they can hit that ball into the pocket, that kick serve into the pocket, which is very effective.
I think what people don't necessarily understand, or more casual paddle players and watchers, is that serving sidearm is not an easy thing to do. It's not. It looks, like you're just trying to pop the ball in the court, but you're doing it to keep the ball low so it can't be attacked, and it's not an easy serve.
No, it's not, and it's got to go deep in the box. If it gets too short in the box, and they're catching it early, and you're going to be behind the service line making that first volley. It's fascinating to see the whole evolution of the game because for years it was serve, come to net, right? What else was there? But then that stopped working because everybody's return got so good. So then people started staying back, and now the evolution of the sidearm serve. The one that I'm really interested to see, which he hasn't broken out yet, was Martin Bostrom develop a new serve this summer, where he would spin the ball in the air and it would go 15, 20 feet in the air and then hit the court and then kick back over the net if he did it right. So the only way to deal with it was to almost catch it on the rise, like as a half volley. And I saw him doing that. If
So
you're
where
really
is it?
interested, he just had his first match on the stream was against Johan Durant. I think he was a little worried about bringing it out against Johan. But if you're interested, there's a YouTube video where I think it's a Pro Flight paddle video actually, where Drew and Martin are playing Hughes and Powers, ironically enough, at Dan Englander's backyard, and you can see him doing it. It's really interesting. Always love to see players kind of push the boundaries, or not just push the boundaries, expand the boundaries of the sport and try different things. So we're having some conversations here. Take a fast look at the draw while waiting for these guys. There you see each team made it through relatively easily, and the winner of this is likely to get our number 1 seeds, Fraser and Morgan.
It's a chilly day in Detroit, Mark. It's a little snow coming down.
So I wonder if our scorekeeper's going to stay on the court, Lauren. That's interesting.
I think he's just announcing.
And that is Dave Woodruff, who is the premier scorekeeper in the Detroit area, sorry. Traveled up from Indianapolis for the tournament.
And
He's
here
one of the
we
premier in
go.
both areas.
Little confusion there.
I think they're brothers. They know what each other are doing.
The Held brothers played this tournament together last year, reached the semis. That's twice in 1 point they hit each other.
Kahler swinging away with that two-handed shot. Just Gio has worked with Scott to try and get him that better on that topspin forehand, but still a work in progress, to be kind.
It's just not a natural shot for him.
Though it's been amazing to watch Jess figure it out, as she never had a real topspin forehand. Great move there from Kahler. He's such a terrific athlete. Moves forward so well.
He's so well. He's so quick to just close off the net.
He's one of those players that never beats himself. Oh, that was self-defense, that volley. Get your hands up because it's about to hit you in the head.
Okay, first game to Kahler McKnight.
McKnight looks sharp, only 1 game in, but if he's pretty much what he used to be, I think they're one of the pre-tournament favorites, Lauren. Yeah, Kahler's just so solid. He doesn't have any big weapons from the backcourt, but he's willing to lob all day. He volleys great. He's got a terrific serve. Two-handed backhand in the middle is a decent weapon. He just hasn't been able to crack that top 3 or 4. Everyone else he beats. Made semis and nationals in Pittsburgh a couple years ago. Now we're going to see where the Held's offense is going to come from in the backcourt. And there's a good example. So Kahler and McKnight are just so confident at the net. Zach Held's got a short forehand, but they just close the net down. And there's the Kahler drop shot, which is such an effective shot.
Yeah, as soon as he drove from all the way back there, Kahler's eyes got wide.
Yeah, right now the Helds are in that part of the match where they got to make a couple of volleys. They got a couple of make a couple of shots to get into the match. Otherwise, they're going to get rolled. That's 40-15. A couple of donations from Kahler and McKnight. That's a big rip right there. And that's what you need if you're the underdog. You got to find a way to win one of those first few games and make that tougher team a little uncomfortable. Yeah, that's a questionable swing right there. Little, as Mark Innes would say, little ambitious. Head in. You know, the top players just serve a little better. They volley a little better. They just put a little more pressure on you. Hit a perfect shot. Okay, 2-love. See if we can get a hold of serve here. Lauren, talk about the weather and how the cold weather tends to affect the match. Do you play differently in the cold? Do you like the cold?
I will, but I'm first going to give you a score update. Crick Lofgren are up 2-1 against Malloy and Oosterbaan. Well, I think that it's easier to control the volleys in the cold weather. I think that you don't have to worry so much about your balls sitting up in the screen. So it really depends on what kind of player you are.
So what type of player is hurt by this type of weather?
Well, I think if you I think
Like to
if you're
drive
gonna
off the wires more?
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to think of how I want to answer that, but I think that if you're looking to, yes, exactly. If the ball's not going to come out, you're not going to be able to create so much offense with the wires. You have to play more basic paddle in this weather.
Yeah, I also think it benefits the serving team or the team at the net if you can get a hold of the net more than ever. That's 30 all.
Yeah, your volleys aren't it up. You can drop volley. Your drop volley is so effective in this weather. Your spins are effective. Stay low.
You see early on a lot of short lobs. There's a good one from Scott Kahler, but a lot of short lobs. And this is not a team you want to have too many waterfall overs to. As Kahler knocks the backhand in the net, brings held.
Loves to hit the waterfall overhead, though.
He does. Game point. Not quite sure what that volley was. Almost looked like he was trying to cut it.
It did look like he was trying to cut it, but it's hard to do when you're running in to hit a first volley.
And that's the type of shots that you've got to make in a match like this, right? They have a chance to close the game out, get back to 2-1. That's like the barrier to entry in a match at this level. And you can see McKnight kind of feeling his way into the match. A couple of those backhands he could have driven. Chose not to. He's looking for that nick. Oh, great cut winner there.
That time he was in much better position than when he was trying to hit it off a first volley.
A lot of early misses from Kahler, unusual. Another opportunity to close this game out. We haven't seen much offense, as we talked about earlier, generated from the backcourt. I mean, we've seen some errors from the team at the net, but we really haven't seen too many balls hit through at all.
No, and it'll be interesting to see if Kahler and McKnight find that offense from the back.
Good backhand there from McKnight. Finds the forehand volley.
That's
Good volley there. We have a
well done.
hold. Yeah, I think this weather is conducive to close matches. I mean, I think it really levels the playing field to some degree, takes away some of the offense from the better team in the backcourt.
It does, as long as everyone volleys well. I mean, nobody's for the most part hitting someone off the court in paddle, although in tennis, but it's a lot easier to happen if it's warm out.
One of the nice connections between these teams is that Ben McKnight grew up in the same street as Jess Guillot and babysat for her.
I did not know that.
Jess Guillot obviously is Scott Kahler's better half. Oh, that's a great forehand throw. Couple of great digs from Kahler and McKnight. That's a well-played point right there.
The Helds have caught Kahler and McKnight with a short volley a bunch of times. And you know, that's what we're talking about in the cold weather. That is so effective because it just dies.
Zach's forehand's been the big weapon on the court. Great one there. McKnight misses the volley, takes us to love 30. See a lot of waterfall overheads today from Scott Kahler. It's interesting, Lauren. He is probably hits more waterfall overheads than any player in the country, and probably punishes the waterfall
Defends
overhead
it
better than
yeah,
any player in the
yeah,
country.
Yeah.
A great backhand. I'm seeing a lot of offense right off the bat from Zach Held, answering our early question, where the offense going to come from. Oh, boy, he played a tremendous game there. Takes us to 2-all. I like what I'm seeing early from the Helds.
Yeah, the first couple games, you know, looked like this match could get away from them, and they really turned it around.
Just a litany of errors from Kahler, so unusual.
Another short volley.
And that is solely attributable to the weather, right? I mean, that ball in 25-degree weather he gets easily.
And there you see the problem with the waterfall overhead is it gives your opponent a nice look at an overhead from the back.
Especially when your opponents are both 6'3" or so.
Tall. Yep.
That's the other problem with the sidearm serve is you see a lot of faulting with it at big moments. Even Johan Durant struggled with it a little bit.
That's what I mean. It looks like it should be easier, but it doesn't seem to be.
It's a great scramble there from Zach Held, staying in the point. That's 30-15 or 40-30 maybe. Oh, look at this. They're switching to the backcourt. That's interesting. Not sure I've ever seen McKnight play the deuce side. get from Kahler. Great scramble. That's some of that athleticism we talked about earlier. Iverson would never have had that ball. Both teams creating a lot of movement. It's interesting to see Kahler McKnight switching because Kahler almost exclusively plays the deuce court, and McKnight almost exclusively plays the ad court when he was playing a lot.
Just a different look, I guess. So another score update. Quick Lofgren up 5-2 against Malloy and Oosterbaan, and Rams Wagner are up 3-love against Creswell and Ma.
Oh, great cut forehand volley winner, the one we questioned earlier. Takes him to game point. There's that two-handed forehand from McKnight. And now they switch back. Just can't live on that volley. That ball was hit way too hard. I don't care if it was 10 below, that ball was hit way too hard. Came way off the back wire, and Ben McKnight punished it. The Helger switching to the net. Good backhand from McKnight. Takes us to game point. And we should know we're playing regular scoring, Lauren, this being a two-day event. We're going to have to get Jerry Vian to give us a little lesson later on the sidearm serve, because I see some guys doing it closed stance and some guys doing it open stance. So we're going to have to ask Jerry to walk us through that. It's also interesting how close to the sideline Zach's been, where his right foot like literally on the alley. So that's very close to a footfall. He's good there. Because as Sven Burris taught us all in Boston last year, you can't go outside of the tram lines.
We did learn that.
As did Sven. Because short in the court, Kahler's playing. Looking to take advantage. Stealing time from them.
That's the shot he's looking for, right? And he just didn't go
That's his
forward
game.
enough.
Yep. So add in. Point for 3-2. McKnight blitzes. They catch him there. You don't feel like, catches there. You just don't feel like Kahler McKnight are generating any offense from the backcourt. Not kind of lobbing to any specific shot and getting any
They're
momentum.
reacting. They're reacting, really. I mean, the Helds are the ones who are taking the chances.
So that's 3-2 held and held. 3 games on the trot, as Brad Gilbert would like to say. Scott Kahler to serve. It's been a really interesting match so far, Lauren.
It has been. It's been a big. It's been so far. You know, the taking chances has succeeded over the more conservative play. Oof. Kahler trying to hit a drop shot of his own there.
Catches the top of the tape. Kahler McKnight switching back in the backcourt. The Held switching again at the net. Oh, great cut. Winner. That
You
one off
see
the
him?
backhand.
He just closed that net, and he was dropping whatever came.
When you're seeing a little bit from Kahler McKnight, what McKnight Rose struggled with a little bit was they were just a little too meat and potatoes at the net. They didn't have, I mean, the thing that separates the guy's game from the top 4 or 5 teams from everybody else is the ability to put the ball away at the net.
Yep. They have winning shots.
I mean, Johan Durant, Graham McNerney, Marek Chavinsky, Juan Araya, Hughes, Powers, all can put the ball away.
Here's the thing. If you don't have a game that's built around spin, it's hard to put the ball away.
And if you don't have that shot, it's hard to compete at the top levels of the game.
Yep. And neither Kahler nor McKnight have the grips to hit those spin shots, so it would be very hard for them.
Another great backhand. Kahler McKnight is kind of looking for answers here.
Well, right now it looks to me like their best chance, Kahler McKnight, is if they can sort of bore the Helds to death and make them go for too many razzle-dazzle shots.
Which is catches the lead cord there. Great shot. Which is the way Scott Kahler tends to play when he's not playing with a Brian Compton or somebody like that, somebody with an explosive amount of offense. Philippe Bram's got some offense from the ad cord.
And look, I mean, it's a good strategy, right? I mean, paddle is a game of errors, and if you can get the other team to make errors, you're in good shape. But if the other team is going to hit more winners, then you're going to lose.
Right. And right now that strategy's not working
Yep.
as they've lost 4 consecutive games. Little chat here from Kahler McKnight.
I think Kahler should try to blitz more or something.
McKnight's starting to blitz. I think the big thing I see is they're just not lobbing well enough. Just too many short overheads.
Smart. You saw Kahler coming, hit behind him.
Little Steve DeRose cut over it for the backcourt. That's a great lob right there. Another one. They just don't have any answers right now.
They're just not getting the errors from the Helds that they need to get. There's a big backhand. Another.
Boy, he's hit that little cut to the side wire a bunch of times and very effective. Won a couple of points on it.
Yep. Series of really good overheads from Zach Held there.
Yeah, they really have him off balance.
He does a good job of mixing the with the roller.
Kahler McKnight aren't winning a lot of points right now. I think it's 4-2, 40 love. Here comes McKnight.
I like it.
See yeah, they're kind of looking for answers, but haven't found anything yet. That's the first volley we've seen the Helds miss in a while. Another point for 5-2. Great volley there.
Mm. 5 games in a row. We have another score update. Aaron and Murphy are up 4-2 against Davis and Wergau. Crick Lofgren won the first set 6-2 over Malloy and Oosterbaan.
And that's Ludo Aaron, who was our tournament director in Indianapolis, who was a late substitution for Paul Rose. Pete apparently told him he was not allowed to play, and he didn't come to Detroit.
And Rams Wagner won the first set 6-1 against Cresswell and Ma.
So no question, we've got the best match so far, Lauren. That's smart of you to pick this one.
That's how we planned it. Yes.
That's how we planned it. Okay, so Ben McKnight served 2-5.
This is a very interesting of contrasting styles. There's the waterfall where it bites you in the face.
And you just wonder if McKnight has not played enough high-level paddle to kind of get that out of his system. That's a shot that's effective against a lower level of paddle. Big forehand there. It's interesting, Lauren. I don't think I've ever played a sport that it was so easy when things were going well and so hard when things were going poorly.
That is a very good assessment of paddle.
Held just misses that one. And then the slightest of changes in a match and everything just turns around. Which is why it's so imperative you just keep competing. Doesn't matter how bad things are, you just keep competing because they can always turn.
And that's why you see so many comebacks in paddle from so far down, because turn on a dime.
30-15.
Good forehand through the middle. Oh, misses the volley.
That's a tough volley in transition, even in the cold weather. So Kahler take that ball off the back wires and force Held to make the volley moving forward. Great lob there. And you don't sense any real strategy from Kahler McKnight at the net. I mean, they're not playing one person or the other, just kind of hitting the ball. Because most of the offenses come from Zach's forehand, but they're not trying to avoid it. Great cut winner there from Kahler, takes him to 5-3. Okay, so we're going to get a little glimpse here into what's going on with the Helds. How confident they are, what kind of service game we see. I watched a little bit of Sasha Zverev last night, Lauren. And he did not serve particularly well in the big moments of the match.
You're trying to say Zach is hoping that he serves better than Zverev?
Yeah, a little yippy on that second serve, and by a little I mean a lot.
He might want to try an underhand serve.
Anything would be better than what he's doing with that second serve right now. Expect to see Kahler and McKnight play a really patient game here. A lot of those sloppy areas we saw earlier from Scott Kahler, I expect to be eliminated from his game. First point is so important in games like this. It has a good backhand down the line from McKnight. And in fairness, Held's been very successful with that little cut forehand drop volley.
Well, I think Kahler and McKnight are making a few adjustments. You saw Kahler take those roller overheads before they came off the second screen. He took them first, and they're not dying in the back. And McKnight took that ball early. I think that they're figuring something out here.
And there you see Kahler with a good forehand down the line, takes over the net. Love 30. A good dig. Another one. And Held smartly stays back after that through ball. Was in trouble if he came in. That's a great cut winner from McKnight. Takes him to love 43. Opportunities to get back on serve. McKnight misses another backhand. Last game, the 2-1 game, he had a break point and he missed the backhand return to serve also. Great blitz from McKnight.
That's the move I've been looking for. I think that that's going to be a great play for Kahler McKnight.
And the Helds weren't looking for it.
No.
I take this back on serve. It's 4 serving 5 now. First set.
Streaky, right? The it was 2-love, then it was 5-2 for the other team. Now it's 5-4.
Like you were saying earlier, Lauren, it's paddle. It's just, that's the way it goes. Okay, Scott Kahler to serve to even the set. Yeah, it's a little deep in the court to drive that ball. Didn't miss it by much. But miss it he did. 15-love. That was a big rip there. Seen a few of those touchy-feely backhand drives from David Held in the backcourt. He's got to be careful with that because if Kahler reads it, he's going to drop shot on that ball. Wow. Surprising miss from McKnight there. You see Kahler's really tightened up his game. I don't think he's missed a ball the last 3 games.
Which is what we're used to seeing from him. That one he missed.
2 points from the set, 15-30. That's a
All right.
great cut winner from McKnight. Hadn't seen that shot from him in McKnight 1.0.
It says we were saying earlier, though, I mean, the shot of the day is clearly the dropper at the net because of the cold weather. It's so effective.
Great recovery there from Held. That looked like a, I'm not even sure what that was, a shank winner? They both went for
They
it?
both went for it. I don't know who hit it.
I think it went over the net, right?
Yeah.
For a winner, so 40-30. Missed lob wide. Takes us to 5-all. See, Kahler wanted to swing at that ball off the wires. It just came out a little lower than he liked. Good read on the nick there from Kahler. That was the one. McKnight's not going to be happy with that miss. They played such a rock-solid point.
That was a smart shot, though, from David Held. I mean, he saw McKnight leaning and just kind of lobbed it in there and softly, and he couldn't react fast enough.
There's a good backhand. And that serve was perfect, Lauren. We had a great angle of what's wrong with the overhand serve. That ball got up so high, McKnight was able to take it straight down with the two-handed shot, and Held volleying from his shoe tops inside the service box. Same thing there. And that ball that struck from high to low is such a hard ball to volley.
You have to volley up. You have to worry about the opponent at the net, then getting an easy volley. It's a lot to think about when you're serving and coming in.
That's why I don't serve and come in, Lauren. It's too much to think about.
But it is a perfect illustration of why people are hitting the sidearm serve, or what the sidearm serve is intended to prevent.
Kahler around the net.
Very nice.
Boy, McKnight set that point up beautifully. Lob down the line, step in, drive the ball. Just opened the court up perfectly. And it's 15-40 for a fourth consecutive winning game from Kahler and McKnight as our trend continues. Okay, another opportunity, 30-40. Boy, successive errors there from Kahler and McKnight. Wow, great volley there.
He stuffed Kahler there. Kahler thought about coming in behind the return.
McKnight's starting to find the range in that backhand.
I would move that serve. I mean,
You can't serve his backhand like that.
He's just
Yeah, I think you're spot on, Lauren. That's the place. That's Ben's happy spot.
Right. It's just it's you can see him. He's just taking one step and he's all over that ball.
Yeah, great lobbing again by McKnight, setting up the point. You can see all the movement from the Helds. It's all starting with that McKnight down the lob line. Or down the line lob, down the lob line.
I knew what you meant.
One brother, the other. Don't frickin' serve the ball to his backhand again. Okay, they go in I formation, which can make it harder to avoid his backhand, honestly.
But, you know, it was right in the same place. It was a good idea to do something different, but maybe that wasn't the best choice.
Yeah, the net positioning less important than the ball positioning where it is. I mean, he's killing him with that return. Right, I would have preferred to see Held standing straight on the center strap and trying to get that ball straight down the line. And that takes us to 6-5, and Kahler McKnight will serve for the first set. As they've responded to the 5 games in a row that the Helds won with 4 of their own.
Yeah. Yep.
Ben McKnight will serve for the first set.
Oh, that's a
Wow.
a rare bad volley.
Yeah, that's a ball he makes 100 times out of 99.
That's some interesting math, Mark.
That's Mark Innes math. He taught me that. Misses that one. That's the ball he's been inhaling. Good swing, good court position, just doesn't execute. Yeah, so McKnight reading that ball. He was on top of the net. Oh, great overhead. Kahler catches the nick. And Held's not ready for it. 2 points from the set. Great close from McKnight. Yeah, that's a ball that's got to be lobbed. Too low, too far to travel, and that takes the double set point, 40-15.
Oh, he lost his shoe.
And should have been a let.
He's gonna get a hole in his.
Oh, that would have been an awesome way to win the set. Shoeless Ben McKnight.
That's a good way to get to co-open.
Now, what would you have done if you were the Hells, Lauren? Would you have called a let right there, or would you play the point?
It all
It's
happened
unlikely
so
they
quick.
didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the question is, does he know how to tie his shoe that it would come off completely? Reminds me a little bit of Guga Gonçalves, who was renowned for never tying his shoelaces. 40-30. That's set point number 2.
Ooh.
Big
Well,
return
hesitation
from
there.
Held. Yep. This set seems like it was deserving of a breaker, though, doesn't it, Lauren?
It's certainly a roller coaster. But I am sure
I think the
Kahler
Hells would agree with me.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I was going to say, I'm sure Kahler and McKnight would not agree with you.
You got that right. I'm still surprised Kahler McKnight haven't played more balls into David Held's corner because he hasn't generated much offense at all. Like that. That's the shot that just hurt them the whole set. A little 5-hole action there from Scott Kahler. Wow. Set point number 3. McKnight showing a little bit of nerves here. Just keep getting in trouble going over there. I'm just surprised they're not playing more balls into the deuce court.
They're trying to draw some errors. I mean, and he has made errors, but he's also hit a lot of good balls.
Yeah, I'd say he's hit a lot more good balls than bad ones.
Yeah.
Oh, great get in the nick. But this is an issue with two righties. It's hard to play the deuce court.
It's a great volley. Jeez.
Oh, great action. Great running forehand there from Held, and Kahler had the answer. Held switch in the backcourt. There you saw those last two lobs, really short lobs. Does Raya put those balls away? Does Durant put those balls away? Probably.
Yep, I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, I thought McKnight was going to hit Kahler with the volley.
I think he probably just missed.
Held's just continuing to hurt him with that forehand. Point for a tiebreak. Good action there. Great volley from McKnight there. They were in trouble. And there's a cut winner from McKnight. The ability to end points, Lauren, it's the rarest of commodities in our game. Well, misses that one.
Yeah, good
Set
look.
point number 5. Yeah, good look. I agree. That was the right shot. Just missed it. Oh, good recovery. The Helds looked at each other and you thought, uh-oh. Well, Kahler just baited him into that ball, and McKnight puts it away. Game in first set. Kahler McKnight 7-5. Fun set of paddle, Lauren.
That was really, we saw a lot of different things there and a lot of different ranges. Viking has an unrivaled paddle lineup depth. 3 paddle families, each family featuring 3 models: the Pro, the Light, and the Prodigy. 9 adult paddles with different weights, core densities, and overall hitting surfaces to address all levels of play. Vibrant gradients and a bold, modern color palette lead for the upcoming season. All paddles are hand-painted, giving each its own unique look. No gimmicks, just the best ball-striking paddles in the game, the official paddles of the APTA.
So, fun set of paddle, Lauren. What do you think the Hells have to do to change it up here?
Well, they won 5 games in a row by more aggressive and finding more offense than the other team. And if they can find that game style again and continue to get some errors from the other team, they're right in there.
Yeah, it goes to what we said. There's just such a fine line. When it's going well, it's just so easy, and when it's not going well, it's so hard. I mean, they did so much right, and were on the verge of winning the set, and then just a couple of mistakes, not even bad ones, just failures to execute. But that's what determines who wins and loses paddle matches, who wins the big points.
And
And
it
all,
felt like for those 5 games, whenever Zachary held, they were playing him in the ag court there, you could feel him thinking, I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait, I'm going to get my shot, and I'm going to win the point. And then when it started going the other way, it was more like, what am I going to do to win this point? It went from the balance tipped from the helds to the other team, and that's the trick in paddle, to have the balance tip your way.
and that balance tips so easily. Both teams talking. And I think it'll be Zach Held to start us out.
Kahler and McKnight have to feel really good about pulling out that set. We can give a quick. Go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
I said they really tightened things up.
A quick update from the other courts. Aaron and Murphy won the first at 6-4 and are up 2-love against Davis and Wergau. Crick Lofgren were up 1-6-2, 6-2. And Rams Wagner won in straight sets as well.
Great volleys there from the Helds. And the winner of this match will play most likely our number 1 seeds, Fraser Morgan. Kahler coming out much more aggressively. Return blitz. Look for the Helds to switch in the backcourt. And there is the Scott Kahler cut overhead, Lauren.
He's actually been hitting a few good cutters. That one just, that's the thing. When you miss that, you miss it big.
Was that a big miss or a little miss?
That was a big miss.
Yeah, complete miss. A great forehand there from Kahler around the net. And that's a great example of how effective the sidearm serve is against Kahler. He's got that continental grip and that low ball. It's just very hard to hit the forehand on that low ball. Catches McKnight blitzing. Big game for the Helds to hold, or the Holds to held. 40-15. You think Ben McKnight's got the best cross-handed forehand in the game?
He's got the only one.
That makes it the best.
Yep.
Kahler misses the spike from the backcourt. That's his bread and butter, and we have a hold. So it's 2-love, 5-love, 5-love, 2-love.
Yeah.
We're on a new run.
We're on a new run. Look, it's sometimes when you win a really close up and down set like that, you relax a little bit, which is a terrible thing to do because then you see you can lose that first game very quickly. It's hard to maintain that intensity.
Yeah, that's a great comment because that intensity is what makes the best players the best players.
In every sport.
Yeah, I read an article recently that talked about how the top athletes just have fewer thoughts running through their head. You see Kahler reading the forehand, jumping the net. That waterfall over it gets punished. And some of that discipline we saw from Kahler McKnight to close the first set seems to have evaporated. Maybe frozen would be a better choice of words in this weather, Lauren.
Serves out.
A couple of faults and a bad waterfall overhead in there. Love 40.
They figured they were down 2-love in the first set, so they want to get back there.
That was not one of Scott Kahler's better games.
No, that was 2 quick games, too. You see the difference on that serve, that overhand serve. Kahler can take his forehand from up high on the return and hit it down at the volleyer's feet.
Great blitz there from McKnight behind it. There you see McKnight reading the forehand drive. Misses that volley wide, and that forehand continues to hurt him. I mean, that's a ball Kahler had a lot of control of the overhead on, could have easily taken it cross court, and found David Held's backhand and just didn't. 15 all. Now they're staying back. I think that's a smart move. I think it's actually 30 all. Oh, great move. Kahler McKnight returning to their customary sides in the backcourt.
Catch them.
Yeah, ball was good, 30-15. It's like it hit the nick and McKnight just didn't read it. Talking about the score. Again, staying back. Or at least one of them is staying back.
Get out of there.
Great scramble. Misses it wide. Good action. Okay. I love all the strategy. Staying back. One's charging. Both staying back.
Same thing. The server came in.
Yeah, but now it's getting a little predictable. And then the whole problem with that is they're struggling dealing with the high bouncing serve that Scott Kahler's punishing. See, that's the spot that's safe, that I'm surprised Kahler and McKnight have not hit more balls at. Oh, misses the lob wide. But, I mean, Zach Held's really hurt him with that forehand.
Well, we'll see if we start another streak of games here, Mark.
We've not had each team win a game in the entire match.
Nope.
So Ben McKnight to serve. 1-2, second set. And that is a cold weather miss right there. That ball just died after it hit the side wire.
Yeah, Held took a step in, and the ball got behind him, and that was it.
I think that was a drop shot Kahler hit, but
Yep.
it didn't drop very much. Oh, the old swing and miss. Let it go through to your partner. Miguel Cobbs prefers to run those down himself. That's a nice ball from Zach Held. Finds the right hip of McKnight, and they're at 15-30.
Oof. He lined that one up.
Yeah. You like that drive? You think he should have lobbed it?
I mean, they were tight in then on the net. It was his third drive in a row. He probably should have lobbed it. But that being, he probably should have made that backhand too.
Yeah, easy to say in retrospect.
Yeah.
But that's what he's been so successful at today. And that's been the great play of that down the line lob, and then while Kahler's moving back for Zach Held to hit that forehand at him. A nice backhand off the deck there. It's beautiful the way they created movement from the backcourt. Kahler came up with the answer there. That's a tough volley.
Same shot behind.
Good job pulling him out of the corner. And the waterfall behind him. 40-30. I would say that cutover at Kahler was much better than the last one he tried. Great
That was
ball
back.
there.
That was on top of Kahler before he even knew it.
That's like, get the nick, get the nick. No, not that nick.
Right.
Matt Garrelli specializes in those. His nicks always kill us. Oh, Hell was in good position there. Another big forehand takes over the net, just misses the volley moving forward. And that volley is so much harder than it looks. Game point. Rare missed forehand from Held, and of course it's another consecutive games, 2 consecutive games from Kahler McKnight.
It was a good serve for McKnight because Held couldn't move in to hit that return. He had to go sideways, and that was the difference.
First forehand he's missed, and
Yeah.
return serve
In
in a while.
Yeah, he's hitting his forehand great.
Oh, great nick there. Great
It was a good luck,
overhead.
good angle for it.
We saw the good nick and the bad nick.
Unfortunately, you don't really get to choose when you hit it.
No. Another great example of the effectiveness of the sidearm serve, how low the point of contact was for McKnight there. He's been eviscerating the David Held serve. Great cut winner there. Set the whole point up. As we talked about earlier on, that sidearm serve, you get some faults out of it. 2 consecutive ones.
I was thinking he's been very consistent with it, but it just seems like the errors with it come in bunches, not just for Held, but in general.
Great backhand there. Kahler finds the right hip. Missed volley. It's Kahler's bread and butter. He was inside the court, high ball, right ball to hit, just missed it.
Good lob. Oh, set it up so well with that lob.
Court was open. Big kudos to our scorekeeper Dave Woodruff on it. It's a tough job in good weather. 15-degree weather, 10-degree weather, it's a lot harder. I think Dave majored in scorekeeping in Kalamazoo. That's a good roller. Catches the nick. And our latest knee streak is broken. That was a great hold. Those 2 faults got into 30-40. Looked like they were in trouble. A few misses from Kahler.
He's been rock solid, Zach Held. I mean, he didn't. Those 2 missed serves didn't phase him. He went right back to what he's been doing.
You've seen the advantage of that sidearm serve. I mean, from the Held brothers, it's just perfectly illustrated. David's tall guy, serves down at the court, ball's coming up. Kahler and McKnight make contact shoulder level, driving the ball down at their feet, and they're struggling with it. Zach's hitting the sidearm serve and not even attempting to drive it back. Oh! I was ducking behind you, Lauren.
Thanks.
Well, you got much better hands than I do anyway. You could have handled the volley.
What happened?
Pulled wide.
Oh.
Looked like it was good to me, but that means one of two things. There was or wasn't. Looks like they're going to play let. Great sportsmanship from Zachary there. 15 love. Played 1 point. Those are the hardest balls to call, too. When someone's hitting that, hard ball, cross court, you just catch the line, it's just out, just not sure. I was talking earlier about point contact, and it's one of the new changes of the game. The old adage, drive in the green, lob in the brown. Well, that is like so not paddle today.
Yeah.
If it's low, lob it. If it's high, drive it. No matter where you stand, if it's high.
Yep.
Well, this is that one deep in the court. That's 30 love.
The only issue is if you're in the green driving it and your opponents are crowding the net, they're going to drop you.
Absolutely.
No matter how well you drive it.
40 love. That was the right shot. He just misses it.
You know what's happening here, Mark. We could have our first trading of single games in this match.
Boy, a lot of questions Zachary's asking, a lot of good ones. Kahler, McKnight have the answers. Oh, what a get.
What a get.
Oh! Great action.
That's a nice shot and a nice pickup.
Great point. McKnight dumps the overhead in the net. A little far off the net to try that shot. Isn't that paddle the Lord? I mean, 5 or 6 spectacular shots, and then McKnight hits an overhead from 4 feet off the net, and it goes 3 feet.
Yep.
This is the forehand wide, and you got it, Lauren. An exchange of games, 3-all. And this is the game that the Helds have struggled with.
I'm curious to see what they do. Well, they obviously stayed back and then Held came in, but against the McKnight serve even more. I mean, return even more so because he's just killing them with that back in.
Yep, but they stayed in the point there, and I think David Held's got to be careful with that because he's lost a bunch of points that way. And they're doing plenty of damage from back here. Yeah, a little deep in the court by that one.
Yeah, you see when he misses, he steps sideways instead of stepping forward. That's the only time he misses that forehand.
Okay, both starting back. Let's see if David Held follows it into net.
Yeah, that's what he's done every time.
His motion just carries him forward so nicely.
You got the commentary right there. Don't do that. That ball is so tempting. It looks so like it's there, but if you're a little far off the net, it's very hard to make that shot.
And he's had some success with it. Well, you'd have to think those two errors kind of fed upon each other. Into the first one fed on the second. It caused the second one.
Definitely.
Love 40. Oh, that Ben McKnight gets himself in trouble. No business trying to make that volley.
No, he could have let that go. That time he stayed back.
Smart play. Brother hits the big forehand. They take over the net. Oh, good swing from McKnight. That's his bread and butter. He just misses it.
30, 40,
Boy, if
40.
the Helts can wiggle out of this game, that would be huge. Really want to see him staying back here, not following this ball in.
Sort of. By the time he finishes his serve, he's at the service line, so then he has to back up.
Yeah, but he stayed in the point. Great catch. What do you say? Good hustle, old man. We know who the younger brother is. Back to deuce. But you just can't do that. Having so much success from the backcourt, it just shouldn't be following that ball in. Kahler's just eviscerating that serve. I want to get a belt, Lauren. Rope so I can pull him back. Don't go forward. Don't go forward.
Well, you're right. I mean, in most cases, it's so helpful the way his serve carries him in, but it's not helping him here.
Got away with that one.
Yeah.
Again, that was McKnight's bread and butter. Questions being asked. Knight beats him with the waterfall.
Advantage, Kahler,
McKnight and Kahler withstood a barrage of Zachary Help forehands there.
Is David Help following this one in or not, Lauren?
Yes.
Successfully, too. Great call, Lauren.
Deuce.
What a game, Mark.
Advantage, Kahler, McKnight.
Yeah. Mark, is he going in or staying back? Good call, Mark. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't
Kahler,
know why he
McKnight, they
didn't
lead
stay
4
back.
games to 3 second set.
Try it at least.
Sorry.
We're keeping the language family friendly right now because of the live stream. Otherwise, there'd be more. You'd know.
We could call them IU Days.
We went to yeah, you did.
Well, awesome.
We went to Glory Street. Yes, yeah, you did. That was 30 years ago, but thank you.
Love 15.
Yes, I would say that, although this match has been so the Hells have certainly shown that they can win multiple games in a row, but you don't want to be down a set in 5-3.
15 all.
Yeah. Just play bread and butter, solid. Let your opponents try to beat themselves. Not like that.
15-30. $15.40. $30.40.
See the frustration. I mean, I thought they were baiting him to hit it, but I'm not sure why they would continue to do so. It's not like he's missing it or hitting bad shots off it. I mean, do you want to keep defending against that? I don't know.
Well, again, so the movement created an edge in this volley because of it.
Advantage held and held.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Oh, we almost had our first strong drops of the day.
Deuce.
I was really hoping that would go over. That would have been fun.
Me too. Great serve there from McKnight. got away with that one, but boy, it seemed like a perilous way to
Advantage
win a
Kahler
point.
McKnight.
Point for 5-3. Confusion there from Kahler McKnight. Oh,
Deuce.
He's hit a lot of those successfully.
yeah, he has. That's just at this moment of the match, you got to do what you know you can do, not what you hope you can do. Yeah, that's a ball he's moving too
Advantage
far to
Kahler
his left to
McKnight.
turn around and hit the forehand on. Another point for 5-3. Kahler with the drop shot.
What a great
McKnight
serve, right? It
again.
looked like it maybe
That
caught the
game,
back
they
of
lead 5
and,
games to 3,
and
second set.
Kahler took the opportunity.
Okay. Zach held a serve to stay in the match. Lauren, in tennis, the rule is that the toss has got to go up. You can't drop the ball. Is that correct? On your serve?
No. You can serve. What do you mean?
When you toss the ball, it's got to go up. It can't go down. You can't drop the ball and then hit an underhand serve. We'll get some confirmation on that. That's my understanding of what the rule is in paddle as well.
Sorry, I couldn't see any of that.
That hard overhead goes over the net,
By the way, no
over
one
the
saw
fence.
Good luck finding it in that.
Yeah, I don't think it hit Scott Kahler. And now Zach's asking, is this it? Is this it?
Fun match.
You ever see that great video Mark Parsons made where the ball would go over the fence and he'd run to the side and say, I see it?
Yes.
Zach is now
Tallying the score.
getting the snow off his feet.
5 love.
Okay, so I guess that ball did hit Scott Kahler. 15 love. This is the first real hard overhead we've seen today. Kahler's shot.
And it sat there for a long time. He had plenty of time to set up for that play.
Didn't even have to jump. A lot of
Nice
offense
backhand.
from Held, the backhand, the forehand. He's been impressive, Lauren.
He has. On both sides. He was in the deuce there.
30 love. Knight's a little late to get that one, and the Helds very generously are going to get it. This is where I do what Mark Parsons does. I see it. It's right over there. Now,
The juxtaposition.
wouldn't Jerry Viant be suggesting that Scott Kahler should go get that ball to support Ben McKnight hitting it over the fence? Did she do that for you guys? When you, Lauren, when you guys played together, did she chase all the balls you hit over the fence?
I don't remember.
40 love.
Oh! 40 love. Couple serves, just caught the line. That sidearm serve is so effective. Ben McKnight with a drive-by volley winner.
40-15.
believe you got that cutter.
Well, there's 2 more opportunities to close the game out if they need it. Confirmation from Dravia that she didn't need to go get chasing those balls.
Had another partner who loved to chase those balls too, Sue Tarzian. She would always be the first person to run out the door to get the ball.
Well, that's a dangerous over against Scott Kahler. You see him kind of loading up until he realized he didn't have it. Yeah, just too many times going to that
40-30.
McKnight backhand. 40-30. So many safe spots in the court against McKnight. That's the one place you just got to avoid.
What a get,
Oh, then he misses that one, as he says.
as he
Game
said.
held.
Excellent analysis from
Games are
Scott Kahler.
5-4. Kahler McKnight in the
And
second
he'll
set.
serve for the match. What do you think, Lauren? Break or hold?
I'm still hot.
I think that. I think hold.
Yeah, I think hold too.
Yeah.
Just would expect Scott Kahler to play a rock solid game here. That's a much better overhead from McKnight. Driven deep in the court, but on David Held's backhand. Lauren, what exactly was that?
I think he was trying to make it look like he was going to lob and then kind of dump it at Kahler's feet.
Dump being the appropriate choice of words
Yeah.
to describe that shot. It's a great return from Zach Held there.
Ow! 30-15.
Great over there, takes us to double match point.
40-15.
It was a fitting end on the. It was win or die with the Zachary Held
Kahler
forehand
McKnight.
that match.
They win the second
Game,
set.
set, match. Kahler McKnight, 7-5, 6-4. Closing thoughts, Lauren?
It was a fun match to watch. It was a fun match to watch. It was well played. It was well contested. There wasn't much separating these two teams, but in the end, the steadier team won.
Yeah, it was just a point or two here, point or two there. But a fun match. Great to see Ben McKnight back out in the court. I want to thank one of our national sponsors. Fusion Sports is your source for high-end custom apparel. Fusion offers pro shop management, tournament favors, corporate branded gear, Dana Parsons service, and youth sports. Fusion is the official apparel and favors supplier of the American Platform Tennis Association. Lawrence, before we leave, I want to give out my usual thank yous. Mean Kadari, Tiernan Kavana, Ann Sheedy, Isabel Caban, Nindy Pike, Jerry Vian, of course. I mean, hosting these tournaments in a safe, responsible fashion for our players has been a real challenge all season, and to be able to pull it off as we've had is just really remarkable. I mean, there's been so much time and effort put into it. I know in the commentary how much time Jerry puts into it. I don't do anything, honestly. Has been nothing short of remarkable. Okay, we'll be back with our quarterfinals at 2:30. Until then, see everybody later.
Thank you, Mark.